And we're live.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Halos and the Angels Pregame show, a special morning edition. Yes, people do get up this early on the West Coast. The reason why we're up this early, the Angels and Red Sox are playing each other at 11 their time, 8 our time, because of Patriots Day, the marathon going on. And then later on, you get the Boston Bruins playoff game going on. The Celtics are also playing, I think, tomorrow, though. So it's a great day in Boston. And the Red Sox are trying to capitalize on all that, sweeping our Angels. Hopefully, Ohtani stops that. He's starting today. And we have a special guest, of course, who's making this all happen on the YouTube side today. Todd Fox, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, so there's just, man, we keep losing these games. And it's, the first 2-by-2 runs. Yesterday was one run, and the offense just not hitting. I'll tell you what's always hitting is 714 tickets. I mean, I'm looking at the website right now. I'm looking at all the things that I can go to. Coachella, which I heard was a smash. The Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Of course, I'm going to go to that. The Madonna Celebration Tour, and then Paramore. And then don't forget, the playoffs going on, like I just mentioned, in Boston. We got the same fever over here, but it's a little warmer. With the Lakers and Clippers at Crypto.com Arena. And then also you have the Kings, the hockey team. Don't get confused with Sacramento Kings. They're also playing in the playoffs as well. So you want to get those tickets for that. All the concerts, like I mentioned, all the theater events. And for more, Todd will take more on 714 tickets on how you can save 10%.
Yeah, like James said, I mean, there's some hot tickets going on. A lot of people keep messaging us about how they got tickets for dirt cheap because they use HITI in the promo. HITI gets 10% off, like my boy James said, on your particular purchase that day. And I'm telling you, playoff tickets, when you can get any kind of money knocked off them, that's a plus. And then you get 5% off for your next purchase. So if you make multiple purchases, we're talking about 15% off. And then also at before the end of the month, get your ticket purchases in to get a chance to win a jersey courtesy of us and 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets will also be offering us some family 4-packs here soon to give away to you, the fans, as we move forward in the season. So May is going to be a good month as far as that's concerned as well. So you could win some tickets here via 714 Tickets and Halos in the Infield, James. And that sounds really good, right? Because it's 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets.
If I tried to say it like that, my voice would go gone. So I'm going to try to get this done expeditiously today. So Shohei Ohtani is the starting pitcher for the Angels today, I should say. He's 2-0 with the 0.47 ERA and 24 strikeouts going on. The last start he had, that was against Washington on that Tuesday. And I know Rich Eisen was mentioning, would have hoped more people came out. But you gotta figure this out. It's Tuesday, there's gonna be, a Medine crowd. It won't be a big crowd. But he did well. The Angels won that game, went on to take that series. I'm hoping for him to keep the ball low and use that. Well, they call it a sweeper now, the slider. Mm-hmm. I've noticed the sweeper name being out there. But hopefully his offense, his bat, he can help himself. I hope that's the case. His last start against Washington, I was trying to figure the started for Boston. And man, I've never heard of this. Last name Brian Bello. Not to be confused, Brian Fellow. Old SNL character. But he's 23 years of age, 6'1", 170. He throws righty. Fastball at 97, so that's something to look forward to if Renfroe and Trout want to catch up to that. And also Ohtani, 88 changeup, 85 on the slider, 80 on a curve. So that should be interesting to see. Before I get to Ohtani's numbers, mentioned about Bello. This is his first start this year, so hopefully Angels can get at him on his first start. That would be something good to see. Mention with Shohei again, 24 strikeouts. He's less in the walks this year, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been good to see. Of course, his repertoire, you got the fastball. I know before Tommy John, it was what, 98, 99. We're not going to see that anymore, and that's okay. Um, it's like 94, 95, but there's sometimes, Todd, he could rip it up to 96, 97, 100 even
Mm-hmm.
when he needs to. And then you go to slider, was about 87. He really uses that curve. That would have been cool to see if he could use that curve more often, but the splitter's really good as well. So check that out for Otani today. I guess the keys of the game for me would be to get after Bello right away, get after his fastball. He's going to be young. You want to rattle him right away. And then, as everybody's mentioned, Randy, everyone, you know, when runners are in scoring position, knock them in.
Oh yeah.
You know, don't continue this, BS about leaving people on and double plays and untimely hitting. I think that's got to be the key. Or Boston, and say continue what you're doing, playing great defense, hitting well. I remember yesterday as the Angels lost 2-1. I was asleep for most of it, but I heard the important parts.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Renfroe scored in the first inning, I want to say. I can't recall what happened, but Justin Turner had the 2-run home run. And then that sparked the debate yesterday on the Toddfox postgame show, by the way. Stuff. Who's better, Pedroia or Turner? You got those two going at it. And for me, I kept thinking, well, Pedroia has two rings. Turner has a Mickey Mouse one.
Mm-hmm.
Turner had to struggle his way at first before he got to the Dodgers. Pedroia just found his way on that Red Sox team and became a good part of it. I remember all the times he batted almost leadoff or second. So he's really key to those teams. And I hate to take any part away from each of those players, but I have Pedroia, but I don't know. Just because I felt like he was more important, and Dodgers kept choking all those years.
Oh yeah.
And again, Turner was nothing with the Orioles and the Mets. I mean, he was nothing. That was amazing to see. All those comparisons, though, not bad. So quickly, let me get to the lineups. And again, everybody's mentioned the pressure on Zach Neto leading off and how much pressure that is, especially going to New York.
Yes.
I don't know if it's off there, but it's odd in that way to put all that pressure on that rookie. But he's leading off again today, I see here. And then batting second, the pitcher, Shohei Ohtani. Batting third is Taylor Ward in left field. So Trout has the day off. Batting fourth is Hunter Renfroe in right field. Batting fifth is Gio Urshela, the third baseman. Batting sixth is Jake Lamb, the first baseman there. Brandon Drury, the second baseman, on the jury still. Logan O'Hoppe batting eighth, so he's been moved up one spot up the charts, batting behind the plate catching. And then batting ninth is Brett Phillips, who did he make a base running error, Todd? Was that yesterday?
Yes, he got caught off on second base.
That's what it was, because I know you guys mentioned that in the postgame show. Well, he's batting ninth and in center field, so maybe you'll see Trout in the pinch hit spot, but with Ohtani, I'm not sure. Boston will lead off with Rafael Tapia. He's the right fielder, Tapia. Batting second, and who's hot this whole series, other from yesterday. He has 7 home runs this year. Rafael Devers, the third baseman. And Devers, he has all that pressure being the lone big-name star on that team.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of pressure on somebody that plays in Boston as well. And he's been able to do well so far. Batting third is Rob Refsnyder. He's a left fielder. I I'm still amazed that he's batting third, but he is. Makazaka Yoshida will be the designated hitter batting fourth. He got his first action of the series yesterday. Batting fifth for the Red Sox at first base is Brandon, no, what was his name? Casas. Tristan Casas.
Mm-hmm.
He's at first base. Batting sixth is Kike Hernandez. You know him, the former Dodger, at shortstop. And then batting seventh, the Red Sox have a lot of their sixth stringers out here today. Reese McGuire, he'll be behind the plate catching. Batting eighth is Christian Arroyo, the second baseman. And then batting ninth is center fielder, Jaron Duran. And so this is a game where it feels like a lot of people have their backups in. The Angels, of course, just without Trout today. I don't know what to expect from this game. Now I see the lineups, the way it is. Hopefully Renfroe and Urshela can go. And by the way, we determined, or at Heedy, Randy determined Urshela was definitely the player of the week. And you got a chance to vote at that. I think that was well deserved, but I really think he did so well today, this week. He drew the walks. He got timely base hits when there wasn't too many of them.
He could.
So, Ty, how do you think this game? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So, what are your keys to this game? Hearing the lineups and the starting pitching, what are your keys here?
Okay, first off, I'll touch on Urshela. I totally agree with him being the player of the week. I felt he could have had about 7 more hits, but he was just hitting them hard at everybody, and like everybody has been. The last week has been very frustrating for the Angels because they've been putting the ball in play, but just at everybody. And it seems like the other teams they've played, whether it be Washington, the Blue Jays, and including these Red Sox, with 6 guys prior to this series batting below the Mendoza line, 3 of which had no hits going into the series. So Boston was sputtering big time, and the keys to this game for me, well before I touch on the keys, is just this game looks like a series that the Angels are up 3-0, and they're like, okay, let's rest Trout, even though we have a day off tomorrow, correct? We have a day off before. Yeah, we have a day off.
No. Thursday.
Oh, so
no, there's no day off.
There's no. Also, we're straight into the Yankee series.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, okay. Let's put that aside. Terrible take. I'm waking up still. No, but you look at it this way. I wouldn't give. Why do you give a day off for Trout when you got It's not like Boston is like clear across the country from New York. It's right there. If you want to play him half a game, go for it. But to me, this looks like a social series where the Angels are up 2-0, 3-0, and you're just throwing stuff against the wall and see what happens. Now you mentioned they're not, it's not like a complete, turnaround on the lineup. It's just Brent Phillips in there. But I think you're sending a message, and you want to help Shohei get the win today. Obviously, Trout with the strikeouts, people would say, well, maybe he needs a day off. I don't think so. I think you need to play a guy like that every day. The superstar is going to come out of it. Trout's, Ohtani's got to come out of it too, because Ohtani and him have just been not clutch at all. And I have a really, unsure feeling about today. And with a rookie, like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head. You got to get to this guy early. A lot of emotions today, 10-year anniversary of the bombing. You have they're probably going to have some policemen out there from the bombing, or they're going to have some survivors like they have in past throw out the first pitch. And, they're going to honor those that lost their lives. So it's going to be a very emotional game. Couple that with the fact that, we're not starting a guy like Neto in a comfortable setting like they're starting Fellow. Maybe he could feel pressure because of the day, but he's going to have that support from the home crowd egging him on, and a 3-0 series. So it's like, hey man, go out there, do what you can, pitch for the sweep today. The sweep! And this is a Red Sox team that was sputtering before this. We helped them get over 500. They've pushed us under 500. We got to try to win just to go 8-8 today. You could say, okay, there's a lot of teams that are in our spot, but lo and behold, look what the Mariners are doing. Mariners are right there at 500. Remember, everyone was like, they're 4-8, they suck. Well, they're 8-8 now. So how fast things can change in a week. They're going to be one of our biggest competition outside of Houston. and don't care about Texas. But this is again, every game counts, man. And this has been a very, very. I mean, if you thought Toronto and the Nationals was a disappointing homestand with how it played out, so far this road trip is a disaster. I would have thought 3 or 4 here in Boston, and you have a chance to go 2 out of 3 in New York because Garrett Cole pitched yesterday, who's usually an angel killer, and we don't even see him in the New York series. And I think we may just see Cortez, and that's it. And then they're going to have guys that we faced before and did pretty good damage against. So, yeah, this is going to be very depressing if we lose today. So, the keys to the game to me is just win, baby, quote-unquote Al Davis.
I like that, but, man, it just seems like it never works. But we'll see. Brian Bell, by the way, he came up last year, made his debut. He's 2-8. He was pitching in 13 games last year. 4.71 ERA, 55 strikeouts, and 57 and 1/3 innings. His whip at 1.78. And by the way, for Shohei Ohtani, you mentioned Washington, his last start. He did so well at the Big A. His last start, he went 7 innings. He got the win. He only gave up 1 hit. He did walk 5, so that's alarming. Mm-hmm. But he did strike out his customary 6. And just thinking about that, he's had 12 walks this season so far at 3 starts.
Yeah,
that's kind of alarming. So we'll see if you control that. I didn't think that was going to be a problem coming in this year, but I thought maybe the home run ball would be an issue, but the walks have been the issues. So quickly before we get to the comments, let's go to the week ahead. Of course, we have the Boston series winding up today at 8 a.m., 8:10, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And then 3 in New York with the Yankees. 4 o'clock starts Tuesday, Wednesday, and 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon, 4 over there. So, of course, they will give us the businessman special and have us fly out earlier. They keep us there later. I hate how the East Coast teams do that to us. You would have thought 10 a.m. that would have been, or 1 over there, 10 here, but they don't allow us to get out of there quicker. So no days off for the rest of the month. The homestand starting Friday, the 21st, Star Wars night. You get the bobblehead with the little Star Wars figure. I don't know. 22nd is Earth Day with the Ohtani shirt, and the 23rd is also winding up with Kansas City. Mm-hmm. I think someone's going to that game, from what I've read. And then forward the Oakland A's, 24th through the 27th. 25th is the Ohtani Trout blanket, so look out for that if you're going. And then the Angels go on the road again to end April in Milwaukee. And Milwaukee took 3 out of 4 from San Diego this weekend. So they're a really good team, really powerful team, I should say. So especially in that home ballpark, Terang, Tellez, and Yelich, if he ever finds his old way, mm-hmm. the Angels could be in so much trouble. By the way, today's game will be on MLB Network. For those of you out of the Southern California area or out of the Boston area. Really quick, the matchups today here on this Monday. And I think it'll be a light schedule. The Guardians are at the Tigers at 3:40. Also, Rays and the Reds. The Rays, by the way, were human in the Blue Jay series. They lost the first 2, and then they took the final game of that series in Toronto. So they were able to avoid the sweep in Canada. Also at 3:40, the Giants at the Marlins. The Giants were rained out in Detroit yesterday. At 4:10, you get the Phillies at the White Sox. Rangers, who are 9-6 and in first place, taking on the 4-12 Royals in Kansas City at 4:40. At 4:45, you get the Diamondbacks at the Cardinals. That should be interesting. The Diamondbacks are 9-7. They're doing well in the West. Blue Jays at Astros. That should be a really good series at 5. At 5:40, you get the Pirates at Colorado. The Cubs at the A's. The Cubs are 8-6 this year somehow. They're starting at 6:40 up in Oakland. Atlanta at San Diego at 6:40 as well. The Brewers and Mariners, that should be a really good series. That's also at 6:40. And then you have the Mets and the Dodgers at 7:10 in LA. You want to get to the comments, Todd?
Yeah, Jesus is checking in with my keys for the game. As today's game is the Red Sox, or get to Brian Bello early today, play small ball and steal bases. So put pressure on put pressure on the Red Sox. Also, not liking today's lineup. Can just hear Todd's post game rant now. Jim says. It's an 8 a.m. game. Mel, since they treat yesterday like a night game, you're gonna need your main guys in this New York series. So he's okay with the series right there. That's Randy. Let's see. Also, they're just going back and forth. Talking about 714 tickets in the promo. Let's see what else. Everyone's saying good morning to me and you. And then they're just
good morning, y'all.
Yep, they're talking about the game. Randy's talking about if Trout plays or not. It's sort of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But it's like I explained before in yesterday's show. It's like, again, we know he's a beast. Nobody's not tearing the guy down saying he sucks. Now, you do have some ignorant Angel fans that will say that at times, and that's why I think it's guys like Randy and few others pissed off. I've never said he sucks. I just said he's not clutch. I mean, his career has shown that. You know, you can go to Tony Gwynn and say, man, that fool came up clutch so many times, won many games. You really can't go to a resume with Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani and be like, well, he has like 10 or 12 games in his career where, you know, single-handedly he won it in the last at bat. So it's not like the last at bat, but he's come up with many memorable games with magical catches, late inning home runs, not to win the game, but maybe to tie the game or just to give the Angels the lead, and then they go on to win from there. He's had big plays like that. There's no doubt, because he wouldn't be a Hall of Famer candidate without that. Same thing with Shohei Ohtani. But if you look at what you've done for me lately, is what I care about. I don't care about your past. I don't care if Shohei had 600 home runs in late innings to win games. What have you done for me this year? And this year, he has 3 homers, 11 RBIs, I believe, or I think he's tied with Ohapi or RBI short. Same thing with Trout. But have you hit those clutch home runs this year to help keep this team in the lead, to put them over the top? You know, Trout's got that one that we saw at Anaheim Stadium. Have you got those big hits when we needed runs late in the game because either the bullpen shit the bed or the offense wasn't playing good all game? Nope. So that's where I want to see this team improve. And if not those two, because it shouldn't just be on those two, I think it should be on guys like Hunter Renfroe. It should be guys like because we've seen more than – I think a guy who's had more opportunities to drive in RBIs is Renifo. It just seems like every time he comes up, there's a guy on base. So there's a reason why Angel fans have been hating on him as well, because it's been a little frustrating. So if a few things go here right, you know, this team, we're talking about a team that could have like 10, 12 wins already. But because we're hitting the ball right at somebody, or we're striking out a god-awful lot when we have guys on base, or we're not bunting, it's sometimes the little things that really matter. And this team could easily be somewhere around 12 wins instead of 7. And that's the frustrating thing for Angels fans. And again, we're going to get a lot of knee-jerk reactions, whether it's from me, whether it's from you, whether it's from Fernando, Randy, whoever, or just fans in general in the comments, because, again, the pressure of this season is enormous. I haven't felt this type of pressure on an organization to win ever. Like this is a kind of pressure I would think the Mets and the Yankees and the team we're playing today, Boston, in previous years, where it's winner or it's a lost season. You know, win the whole thing or it's a lost season. And we're not even asking the Angels to win a title this year. We're asking them just to get to the postseason. And it just feels, as a fan from the outside looking in, not even part of the organization, I'm feeling the pressure for these guys. because you see it, man. I mean, when they lose, it's not a normal walk off the field. It's like almost like they look like they've just lost a playoff game because they're playing for their main guy. They're playing for their roster spots next year. A lot of these guys are on 1-year contracts. So this is a very, very critical season. And I think everybody can feel it. And so even when we're in the stands at the game, I don't know if you feel the same way, James, but the couple games I've been to this year, it just feels different, bro. Like every pitch matters, right?
Especially with the pitch clock now, with less time, I guess. I can't believe there's time in baseball now, but that's the way we are. I felt that way for the last 2 to 3 years just because of Mike Trout. Just think about what his legacy will be. That's the only reason why I thought of him. By the way, Ohapi and Renfroe lead the team with, I want to say, 11 RBIs, and then Trout has 9 so far this season.
Oh, 9. I thought you had 11. Sorry.
No, I was looking at that because I was like, wait, Trout's not in the lineup. Rendon isn't in the lineup today. So there's a lot of key numbers missing. But, yeah, when we were sitting watching the game or going around, even though it was sold-out crowds, they were there, mainly for the giveaways and then just for opening day. And, of course, you're going to have a big crowd opening day. You're going to have people, feeling good about things. But then the reality comes in, hey, this team isn't ready yet. But just because, just sitting there like every pitch matters, like you mentioned, I felt that way for years just because of Trout. But now you have the Ohtani factor of this season, and that's why it's become the most important season. And the urgency is so big. I don't think Neto will get brought up. If this was a couple of years ago and that situation came up for someone else, let's say, I don't think that happens unless people feel the urgency here. And that's a good thing, though. It's a good thing to have pressure. It's a good thing to have expectations. If you don't, it's going to feel like what people felt here with the Padres here for so long in San Diego County, where it's like they didn't have anything for so long. And there's no expectations, nothing. Everybody's going to stomp all over the Padres. Now, all of a sudden, they have so much expectations. But with the Angels, it's always, Trout Ohtani, we always leave them hanging from winning. But it's more than that. It's more than it starts from the top, really from Artie, which I love the impression you did yesterday with Artie. Oh. That was awesome. It starts from there, and the arrogance of him and all the stuff on and off the field. We don't want to ever see him at a home game, and I feel so bad giving him, my money from, like I said in the chat yesterday, all the merchandise, how much things are now. The parking went up, the beer went up, everything went or helmet nachos went up. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, hey, everybody has to feel that. Unless they're not real fans, they have to feel that there's expectations going on that need to be filled. But so far, so not good. By the way, the Angels are 7-8. Red Sox are 8-8 going into today's game.
Yeah, right now, I totally agree with your takes right now. The pressure's there, but like some people are saying in the comments, it's April. Nats fan checks in. She said good morning. The Nats were 19-30 at one point, and they got it going. So it's just all about chemistry, and it's true. I think we can all agree that this team hasn't fired on all cylinders yet. We know it's a lot better than what it is. And, again, no timetable for Walsh, no timetable for Stassi. Those are two key spots that we need back in the lineup. And then also, you talk about you could take a Clippers jersey and you could get rid of Leonard and you could put Rendon on the back because load or you could take an Angels jersey number 6 and take Rendon off the back and put load management. Because today, I mean, obviously it was reported on our page and others about Rendon saying, well, my shoulder still doesn't feel good. Then why were you playing the last few days? It's like
He's trying to get it out, I guess. But I think if he feels the pressure too from the fans, I don't think he wants to admit it, or maybe he really just doesn't care, like he says. But
I think he's feeling it, bro. Because I mean, remember,
I think so too.
yeah, because you remember when he came out for those starting lineups on game 2. He literally, when they said Anthony Rendon, he's just like, psh, like he did that face and he put his hand down like if you were to brush something aside. And I was like, really, dude? Like he does not respect the fans. And I do know that he's trying a little bit harder. Like if anything, it's sort of like when you break up with somebody and you're trying to get back into shape. It's like, I'm not doing it for her. I'm doing it for myself. But really, it's like, no, you're doing it for her too, bro. Calm down. You're trying to show her that I could still look good, and then you're also doing it for yourself. But mainly, the first thing you say when it's like, oh, I'm not doing it for her, it's like, I'm not doing it for the fans. No, you're doing it for the fans because you want a little respect on your name. Because, yeah, they'll go back and say Anthony Rendon had that magical run with the Washington Nationals, beloved in Washington, but in a market like Los Angeles / Anaheim, he was hated, and he'll probably, like, if Rendon ends his career with the Halos and plays out his career and does this the rest of his career, there's a very good chance maybe Nats fans will have a reunion for him and everything when it's the 10-year, 20-year anniversary of the World Series. But his main time in his career will be remembered for sputtering out with the Angels, for having a real bad connection with Angels fans, and the Angels fans not being able to relate to him, and the injuries. I think that's what it's going to come down to, and I think that's why he served that suspension at the end of last year, and he wanted to get off to a clean start this year, and obviously it hasn't happened. But you're going to see as this season goes along, I think Rendon's going to feel the heat too, if he hasn't already. And I think right now, look at what I'm saying right now as an Angels fan. You could be 100% right saying, you know what, maybe he's gutting it out. He's trying to play through injury, and it's legitimate. But because he's had these other injuries, my first reaction, and as far as other Angels' reaction is, oh, he's soft. Oh, he doesn't want to play. Load management. Insert joke here. But because of his reputation, we're doing that. Whether that's right or wrong. We don't know the inner workings and if he's really hurt. Should we be giving him the benefit of the doubt? Absolutely. But because you made no connection with the fans, we're taking shots. So it sucks because I don't want to be that guy to be like, hey, man, you suck or you're not durable enough. And what if he is going through some issues? But because he's not forthcoming, he's had that disconnect with the fans, I'm going to be an a-hole. So, you know what I mean? Like that, it sucks for Rendon if it is true that he is suffering through something. Because, again, as much as we criticize some players on this roster, James, that we don't like, like last year, I tore apart Squiddy Poo. But if Squiddy Poo would have had an amazing August and September and helped us get to the postseason or get us close or just keep us in contention or just make us exciting and he started hitting 350, I would have said, man, Todd was a dummy. It just took a long time to get his guy going. But you know what? He found his stroke. He's having a Renifo end to the year. Go Squiddy, I'll eat crow. And it's the same thing with Rendon. Rendon starts busting out, playing every day, not throwing lazy-ass throws to first, and starts hitting doubles like we've seen him do, a home run here and there, helping the team, high-fiving the players. I'm going to be on the Rendon bandwagon. But it's just hard to when we've seen what we've seen out of him.
Totally, man. I'm trying to remember when you finished off with the comment or left off with the comments. I know Jim said good morning, and shout out to you, Jim. Good morning. Jesus said good morning to us. I think you were further down. You buy July 1st tickets for the tailgate as well.
Yeah.
So you was saying, I'm going to get my Baltimore versus Angel tickets with the 714 tickets with the Heedy code. I'm also worried about that series. Last year I remember Baltimore swept 4 straight
Hmm.
over the Angels, and I'm high on the Orioles as well as the Pirates in Arizona for as long as they can go. And so far, so good for all those teams. But I really want the Angels to win.
Yeah, I mean the Orioles. I mean that East is. Look, Boston was supposed to be the dog of the division. Now they've gotten up to 500. Tampa Bay's off to a great start. The Yankees are Yankees. Orioles are over 500. I don't think there is an under 500 team now in that division, and that division's tough, and it's going to be good to see the Orioles get better, except when they play us. Like you said, like that team is full of young talent. They remind me a little bit of the Houston Astros, except they don't have that stability at ownership that the Astros have. So, but I do think on the field, they are very dangerous and not to be overlooked. It's not like, oh, we're playing Baltimore, easy series.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah, it's exactly how it used to be. They are going to be a tough out, literally. So all these series that we're going to be going up against, until proven, otherwise, I'm not even going to look at the 4-12 Royals right now, or I think the same record, and it might only have 3 wins, the A's, as easy wins when we come back home. This team
No
literally
way.
this team literally has to get their crap together before we start assuming we can take. I mean, for us, we have to make predictions on who's going to win the series and stuff. But I'm telling you, it's not one of those things where you just walk in there and just do the circle jerk, with our hand and be like, yeah, we got this series. It's over. 2 out of 3 Rally Chris special or a sweep. It's those days aren't here yet if they are. And it's going to be a battle. This team has proven so far right now that they will play down to their competition. They will play up to their competition. So in a series where it looks like, oh man, we're going in there. That's why I think we're going to be feisty in New York. I'm not calling. I'm calling for 2 out of 3 losses, but I think we're not going to get blown out against New York. I think we're going to play head to head with them, and we're going to give them some difficult ass games. But I think in the end they're going to come through. But they'll play up to their competition. It's just the problem is they play down to their competition way too much. Whereas Houston goes in there, it's like, oh, we're playing Kansas City, sweep them. Or all these teams that are good, and the Mets will roll into Colorado and take them out. And we just seem to be the other way. We're like, oh my God, this is the 2003 Colorado Rockies. Watch out,
By the way, there's some breaking news coming in from Fenway Park. Due to the weather being inclement, the first pitch is delayed, and we'll have a new start time as they will provide one with the Red Sox tweeting that out. So there's people saying, "Oh, it's not that much of a rainstorm, so it might be a half an hour delay for the pitch start." That just means more time with us, I guess, for those of you out there. So that's just coming in from Fenway
Oh,
Park.
so that makes
Let's.
that's actually not. Damn, I was hoping for that 8 o'clock start because I wanted the game to be over before lunch, but now it might be ending at lunch or after. Real
Yeah,
quick.
I think it would be 8:30
Oh, okay, so it's not that
first
bad.
pitch.
Okay. Randy was saying I got a 10-piece helmet, wings, and a beer at the Grizzlies game there for $26. That was up there in Fresno. That's not bad. Helmet, wings, and a beer for $26. That's a hell of a deal. See, that's why minor leagues will never fail or die, because unlike major leagues, the minor leagues fans, they have a lot of events, a lot of giveaways, a lot of cooler giveaways. And they also have really good family packs to bring in your family, and very good. It's affordable to eat there. It's not like crazy good to where you're like, oh my God, I can get a 5-for-5 combo. It's not like that, but you're not spending. I mean, the other day, we spent so much at the damn Angels games for food. We were kicking ourselves like, man, we should have just gotten full more on outside stuff. So.
Mm.
It is what it is, And then Grillmaster says, I'm calling 2 out of 3 in New York because we face Cortez, and Suarez starts game 1. So he's calling 2 out of 3 losses. But when does he ever call any victories? So
What else was I going to mention? I wonder, Randy, how much was the ticket to get into the game? Was there a special along with that? And I've been watching, other MLB teams and their, television uh, broadcasts of games, and the White Sox are coming out with like $5 specials on their uh, um, like beer and soda and hot dogs, Polish sausage, popcorn. Like they're really trying to get people to come, and they also have a family pack.
mm-hmm.
I hate to bring up the Dodgers, but I remember somebody mentioning, hey, they used to have, or in the early '90s, they used to have like it was the best value in town to go to a game,
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder with if Otani leaves, depending on what the Angels get, maybe the Angels will get back to value, or will already just keep hiking up the prices and screwing the fans over. That's what I'm wondering. But I always remember the beer was cheap. Artie always kept that down. The parking only went from 8 to 10.
Yep.
Uh, you know, there was so many places to go eat somewhere outside of the game as well, and I'm gonna hopefully do that next time. But of course, we tailgate the first day, so that was really good. I have to mention a comment really quick. Jim was mentioning that I'm clean shaven, hair combed. Must be waiting for co-host Alex Curry to come over with her smile.
Oh yeah, the smile it never quits, bro. I mean, like, what's that movie where like the devil's inside those people and they smile? It just came out
I
because
have no.
well, they had as a promo they had some of those girls at some baseball games getting on TV and at a basketball game where it's just a creepy smile at the camera. Alex Curry, I don't dig her smile, bro. Everyone says she's so pretty, and yeah, she might be having a good body and everything, but her smile, bro, she don't stop smiling. It's like, are you ever sad? Like I just get the feeling like someone dies in front of her, and she's just like, well, you got to think about the positives.
Yeah, I I know she's with some betting. No, I forget what network, but she's somewhere else. Thankfully,
FS1.
uh, yeah, that's what it was. And he also mentioned smell-o-vision indicates fresh food. Also, I don't know what that means,
I
but
have no idea what
I
that
think I
means.
smell okay. But yeah, I'm not.
No, he froze. Well, real quick, are you back? No. Well, $15 tickets on top of the 26 that he spent, so that's $41. That's not
I
bad.
guess I'm kind of always on the laptop. I do have a hot pocket from the store. It's like bacon, egg, and cheese, and very bland. I should say that. Nats fan was saying, "Is it Patriots Day in Boston?" So it is Patriots Day in Boston. So a lot of people are off. So there might be a lot of people there to see Otani, and I don't think all the three games have been sold out. By the way, and remember Fenway, there's only 36,000.
Yeah, the first two,
It's a very small capacity.
the first two were not sold out. Yesterday's was, and I think today's is as well. I think a lot of things, though, Major League Baseball attendance is up for the most part. They do have a certain, I think, the 5 to 10 teams that aren't doing that great, or they're averaging between, your Oakland's. I mean, they said Oakland's averaging 11.
Miami.
11. I'm like, yeah, right. It's less than that, but a lot of teams at
No.
16 or 18,000. But the interesting thing is the ratings for the television have gone way up. People are digging the shorter games. The rule changes. Baseball has been a little bit more exciting. So the ratings are actually better than basketball right now, better than NBA, which is crazy. They're killing the NBA right now in ratings, which is good for baseball. But I think what now they're trying to focus in on is like, okay, we got the ratings up on TV. To go to your point, let's lower the prices and get fans back in the seats. And I think it'll eventually get there, but it's going to take the ownership to look at some of these minor league ball clubs and, especially during the week, give extreme deals during the week. You can afford on the weekends, people are going to come naturally for the most part, but you got to make prices lower during the week, and especially against inferior opponents and stuff like that. So hopefully that works because we want baseball to grow. I think it is growing. Television ratings are showing. Fans are getting into it. You got to get this next generation. With the NBA sputtering and looking like shit, that's helping as well.
Yeah, I always, yesterday I was watching everything, and then there's playoff hockey coming on. Since I've been home like this, I've been able to watch whatever I can now. There's some games I couldn't watch yesterday, but I can't believe the Clippers took game one in their series. That was a shocking thing, but I think eventually they'll lose their first round. Jim was saying he didn't like the starting lineup for today. He could just hear your post-game rant now after. Yeah, Randy also saying it's a 8 a.m. game. Makes sense that they treat yesterday like a night game. You're going to need your main guys for the New York series. So that's why he's saying that Rendon and Trout are out today.
Main guys
Jim
with
was
a
saying,
question mark next to Rendon, but go ahead.
That's true. Jim was saying, give up today's game already. My Trout is damned if he does, damned if he don't. I'm very close to releasing that rant. Jesus gave us the keys. Jesus also mentioned the Diamondbacks are his NL West sleeper. And I thought maybe they would finish just in third. I knew someone that picked them to go second over the Padres. But I just thought with all that young talent coming up, they're behind Baltimore. They're not that ready yet, but Baltimore is there. And then you have Arizona right there. And just two franchises that really need to get going. I mean, they've been bad for so long when you think about it. Jesus also mentions that what's his name? Rengifo needs to wake up. I think we all have to. Sonia says, "Is it April? I'm not worried. It is April." Yeah, she mentioned that with the 19-30 record. The thing is, every situation is different. When I look at a team, I didn't expect much from that Nats team. Maybe to make a wild card that year. It's the same thing with the Angels in a way, but there's just different pieces when it comes to those two different teams. Let's see, what was it? Grillmaster say good morning. I'm not gonna read the Kanai Joe stuff.
It's a little played out, isn't it?
He says, "Oh God, oh God, oh no, God, no." Rendon, Grillmaster says he'll need season-ending. Rendon will need season-ending surgery by game 40. So we'll see what comes out of that. And I'm wondering too. I haven't been to Lake Elsinore Store game in a while, but I wonder how that's going to be. That's I think, single A affiliate for San Diego. Maybe I'll come watch them in the 66ers. I'll go watch them there or go up to San Bernardino. Although the area around the ballpark in San Bernardino is not so good.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, man.
The ambience of the police sirens in the background make it all the wild, to go and just be like, hey man, that's awesome. I mean, who doesn't enjoy the smell of popcorn, the bats cracking with the balls, and the smog in the background, and then police sirens, and
yeah,
guys shooting up meth on the entryway into the stadium.
It's like almost a whole state when you think about it. Jesus was saying, plus Anthony Rendon is an a-hole. Trade him to the Dodgers or another team if he don't play like he should. And the thing is, I think Anthony Rendon would play better wherever he goes. That's just an Angels thing. The ex-Angels go somewhere else, and they do so much better. It's like me with the Raiders almost. But no, Randy's saying, who is willing to take on that contract? Remember, he makes $38 million the next 3 seasons, by the way.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think anybody can. There's just no way. Grillmaster, like you mentioned, he's calling 2 of 3, but I think it's going to be a sweep. I don't have any interest in the Angels getting one game there. If they can't get any games from Boston.
Well, since we're on it, what's your score prediction for today then?
Today, excuse me. I'm gonna say the Angels do win 4-3.
Oh,
I think every game's been close. Otani helps himself, but in New York, though, and in the box, I think it'll be the Yankees sweep. What do you think of this game today?
I say because I shitted on the lineup, and they've given us not much to cheer about these first three games, and kind of disappointed. I think they're gonna win a game. It's gonna be like a used car analogy. You wanted the 2023 insert vehicle here, but because of budget and because of what you're able to perform and do at work, you can afford a hoopty to get to work. So you get by with what you can, and I think you get by with what you can today in this game. And I think the Angels come out firing and they win 9-3. So I got a 9-3 salvageable game right here.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
See, so he's Roger's along for the ride too. He wants balls and John Stamos, and he feels that a win by both of us. He likes those positivity comments by us.
He's gonna ride his Geo Metros down Catella Avenue to the ballpark.
I'm gonna drive my 2012 Prius.
Nat saying the only place maybe he would go was Houston. Just thought Randy was saying $15 tickets. That's what I was wondering. So those prices have gone up just a little. But I'm just amazed at spring training. When we went, it was a special occasion because of the pandemic, so to speak. But ticket prices haven't gone down for that. You're paying like regular game season prices for spring training. I don't get that. I hate that so much because you're not seeing it. The regulars play.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's just. I don't get that, man. I don't think I'd ever do that again. I don't think I'd ever do that again if the prices are the same.
Well, they're cashing in on the experience of seeing your ball club play before the season starts. Number one, the anticipation of the new season, the fact that you can go to multiple stadiums, and it's funny because you look at those spring training games, and for the majority, it could be the Rockies versus the Pirates, and they'll have 70 to better capacity % of the games full at the stadium. Like they have really good attendance. So it's really I guess on the people. Either it's the locals that like it so much because we've seen it too. Remember we went out there, the hotel prices were jacked up, and even in the pandemic, I can imagine what they were this year. So.
I think somebody was mentioning the A's where they were playing spring training. That place looks better than the Coliseum, and that's really sad.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think they'd rather see them over there before they turn into a dumpster fire in Oakland. I know we're getting close to game time, whether it's going to start on time or not. Go ahead and plug your show for sure, dude, moving forward, because James does an excellent job at pregames and getting you set for Angels baseball. So if you're catching the pregame for the first time, be sure to check him out. I think what we're gonna do with James too. We might stay on Instagram or we might go to YouTube exclusively too, because my show, I'm done with Instagram. What are your feelings on that, my friend?
No, I can see that happening. Where I go to YouTube, I just need the go ahead to do that, I would guess. It's weird with this. I've never had anything with Instagram, but with whatever your system, whatever you have, I don't. Yeah, it's weird. There was sometimes too on my laptop. I noticed like a year ago, so I couldn't get the video anymore on my laptop from Instagram, so I couldn't make videos on that. And that was really disturbing because I'm thinking, man, I was doing that on a daily basis, and it just went away. Anyway, forget about what I said. For right now, the pregame show, the Heaty pregame show will be on Instagram live. I don't think the next two nights because I'll be at work, 18 and 19 against the Yankees, but for sure Thursday because of the 1 o'clock start, I'll be on, and then throughout the weekend I should be, and Monday, and I think all next week because I work the mornings, so I think I'll be okay to go. just look out for that. Hope maybe someone else will get the pregame show nod Tuesday and Wednesday coming up. But for the rest of the times, I should be there, and maybe I'll be at the some of the games this weekend. I'm not sure. It's Kansas City. I don't want to see Kansas City, honestly. They have a long way to go. Their batting average, by the way, it's one of the worst in the league. I think the team batting average is really bad, so I want to go see them. But I could be convinced. I'm not much of a Star Wars guy, so I won't be there on Friday for that. Probably to sell the bobblehead, honestly. But yeah, check out the Heedy pregame show daily. Even though I told you the last 2 days, next 2 days won't be there, but daily I will be here giving you a preview of the pitching matchups, the starting lineups, the news around the Angels. I mentioned there'll be a delay with the start today in Boston for Patriots Day due to the rainy weather, but we'll see when that'll come up. On Twitter, I don't know how much you know, but you get all these different comments, and they're all different ways. So my thing was like, hey, I read that, and it said, don't worry, it won't be too long. And it might come out to be, hey, it's a long rain delay. So you never know about Twitter. Angels with Twitter, too. It's just a wild place to go. I don't think I'll ever be on there because one day they'll love somebody like Trout and then throw him down in the dirt if he has a bad couple of games. But it just gets really personal there on Twitter too. But again, you can find me on Instagram on the Halos in the Infield network there on Instagram doing the pregame shows. What I want to do is, move it over to YouTube and see what I can get there. As well, you can check me out on the chair with James. I do food reviews, do some sports shorts. I like that. I did one earlier, I think, on Buda Baker, your division rival, Todd. Arizona Cardinals. They just seem to be breaking up, and little by little, all their pieces are going to be gone. And I did a video about Buda Baker. So
I used to think Washington was the worst franchise in football, but Arizona is definitely taking that cake lately.
It's become that way, and they gave the keys to miniature Murray, and you can't really see over the dashboard. Sonia's saying the tarp is still on the field, so it might be a 9 o'clock start, 8:45 start, hopefully, but it's not looking promising for those who wanted 8:10 or 8:30. I can say that. So, Todd, that's all I got. Again, 714 tickets. Trying to get some playoff tickets for the Lakers, the Clippers, the Kings up in LA. Go there for that. The concert tickets, like I mentioned, I'll be at the Madonna Celebration Tour. I'll be.
Oh my God!
Say that with a straight face. Did you see how she looks now, Madonna? She looks terrible.
Yeah, she looks like an alien, bro. Or like a sucker.
She does.
Yeah. So
Sean Ireland mentioning, the game is delayed. But yeah, check out 714 tickets. Again, the weekend coming up with the Royals. You want to be there for Friday and Saturday for sure for the giveaways. Put in that code for 10% off HITI, Heedy. Also, that'll give you a drawing chance to win a free Angels jersey courtesy of us. And also, was it 5% cash back on a future purchase, I believe. So check out 714 tickets. We're happy to have them.
Yes, I mean, you get that extra 5%. That's like 15% off your next purchase with another code, and then it also rolls over into another purchase. So you continue, you continue to get deals from 714 tickets and Halos in the Infield. So take advantage of that, please, especially when you're buying Angels tickets. It really pays off that way as well. So, and like he said earlier on in the broadcast, he was talking about Kings tickets. So it's not like 714 tickets takes care of only things in 714 area code. They take care of everything. So if you do want Clippers tickets, Lakers tickets, and also Kings tickets, you're not a Ducks fan, well, there you go. So, with that being said, that's all I got for today. I'm looking for the Angels to bounce back in salvage one today. I think James is thinking the same thing, but a little bit more of a butt clincher win. I'm thinking the Angels put a whooping on them today. So, with that being said, I'm done for what I got, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound on the post game, rain or shine.
Yes. Take care, everyone, and go Halos? Question mark.